Until now, the entire world, including the United States, is still hesitant to fully sanction the CCP. They consider it a party that can still be engaged with. This has led to the CCP's attitude continuously becoming more aggressive, because trade continues. This allows them to continually inject new funds and foreign currencies, fueling their expansion ambitions. At this point, I must again advise the businesses, whether Taiwanese or foreign, that you must quickly disengage from dealings with the CCP. Regardless of the benefits and advantages you might have gained in the past, your luck might run out, making you basically tying your own noose. Hi everyone, this is Stan, your favorite Polish Taiwan YouTuber. Hope you are having a great day. Welcome to today's show. If you've been following this channel for some time, you probably know that the CCP is not only using aggressive tactics to annex the lands of neighboring countries, but also is actively purchasing various types of land worldwide. This includes lands adjacent to other countries' military strategic points, agricultural land, or areas full of natural resources. Utilizing both military and civilian measures, with Chinese investments as a cover, basically is a form of soft expansion and intervention by the CCP's regime in the entire world. Now, let's dive into the cases that will help us understand how the CCP utilizes various methods of soft expansion and control in other countries. The northern Kachin state, Myanmar, is known for its banana plantations. According to investigations made by multiple NGOs, Chinese-backed companies are extensively involved in banana cultivation in Kachin state. According to United Nations data, Myanmar's banana exports surged from $1.5 million United States dollars in 2013 to $370 million in 2020, which is a growth of 250 times. Most of the Myanmar bananas are sold to China. Local residents have indicated that since the military coup in Myanmar in February 2020, banana plantations in Kachin state continue to operate, serving as important revenue sources for the Myanmar armed forces. Essentially, the CCP supports Myanmar's military regime by purchasing agricultural products. Additionally, according to the think tank, the American Enterprise Institute, in 2019, China Minmetals Group invested $280 million United States dollars in southern Tanzania in Africa. In 2020, China Non-Ferrous Metal Mining Group invested $730 million United States dollars in mining operations in Guinea. The purpose of these investments is to secure the mining operations of various rare earth elements used in electric vehicle batteries, effectively controlling strategic resources. Presently, China holds around 80% of lithium refining technology and production capacity, dominating the lithium industry. European Union countries and the United States have become aware that China has nearly monopolized the lithium refining industry and EV vehicle battery production, prompting both the EU and the US to go for lithium self-sufficiency to reduce supply chain risks. The United States has not only introduced the IRA Act, which is Inflation Reduction Act, but has also invoked the Defense Production Act to subsidize the extraction and production of minerals such as cobalt, nickel, lithium, and graphite required for electric vehicle batteries. Now let's look at China's actions in Africa. Most of the land in Central African countries is covered by forests, as you know. With soaring timber prices, China's Wanpeng Corporation has been transporting a significant amount of African timber to China. Similar actions are taking place in Russia's Far East region, causing great disturbance to local residents. Due to the corruption and incompetence of the Russian government, China is allowed to exploit various natural resources within Russian territory. And not only that, but the arable land and rivers in Russia's Far East region have also begun to be polluted due to the influx of Chinese-backed businesses. This situation has led to frequent conflicts between local Russians and Chinese. At the same time, countries accepting Chinese investments through the Belt and Road Initiative are accepting higher levels of risk due to their growing dependence on China. The case of the southern Sri Lankan port is the most widely known, where Sri Lanka, unable to repay loans, fell into China's debt trap and was compelled to lease it to China for 99 years, a classic example of debt trap. It is important to note that China's expansion and control tactics are not only confined to economically weaker countries. This summer in Gdynia, which is the biggest port in Poland, China acquired part of the coastal area and refused used to allow NATO vessels with Ukrainian aid to dock, indirectly helping Russia in delaying military support to Ukraine. On another front, China has actively invested in the port of Hamburg, Germany, which is the third largest commercial port in Europe, following Rotterdam in the Netherlands and Antwerp in Belgium. Despite significant opposition to this deal, including dissenting voices from within the government, the shares were ultimately sold, amounting to 25% stake of the port of Hamburg. And now let's go to Japan, to the northern tip of Hokkaido, where the military radio location stations are situated. Although there were previously 8 renewable energy plants stationed, the area is now abandoned, overgrown with wild grass and lacking any hotels. However, a new energy company headquartered in Tokyo, with ties to Beijing, acquired 2 parcels of land near the radar station, totaling to approximately 5,000 square meters. The Soya Strait is right between Russia's Sakhalin island, Kharafto, and Japan's Hokkaido, connecting the Sea of Japan and the Sea of Okhotsk. In recent years, the Soya Strait has drawn attention from countries like China, making the northernmost part of Japan facing the strait in Wakkanai City, an especially vital intelligence gathering station. The nearby radar station is responsible for monitoring the Russian border, for example, and the area is also being used by the Japanese Air Defense Forces. The land purchased by China-affiliated businesses is just 1 kilometer away from the radar station. In early 2017, Miyamoto Masafumi, a Japanese journalist, in an article that he published in Sankei News, warned about Japanese territory being bought out and that Hokkaido could become China's 32nd province, because there are already 513 large land lots in Hokkaido bought by China. Due to the issues of population outflow, foreign capital has heavily been purchasing land surrounding Hokkaido's water resources, as well as self-defense force bases in Kyushu, such as the Air Self-Defense Force in Chitose Base. The majority of the land buyers are not investors from Japan's allied countries, but rather Chinese businesses. Finally, in June of 2023, the Japanese parliament enacted new legislation to intensify regulations on land acquisition and usage in areas crucial for national security. Do you think that only Japan and European countries are subjected to China's soft infiltration and expansionism? China is also heavily purchasing land in the United States. For example, this year the Chinese company Fufeng Group intends to acquire 300 acres of land in North Dakota, only 12 miles away from the Grand Forks Air Force Base, for $2.3 million. This base houses confidential drone technology. Local officials and federal authorities have warned about Fufeng's deep connections with the ruling Chinese Communist Party. The US Air Force is actively intervening to block the transaction. Local residents interviewed by Fox News expressed concerns that the Fufeng Group might also use the acquired land to spy on the nearby Air Force Base. Presently, the city has stated that they will not proceed further with the sale. Additionally, the Arkansas state government has ordered the local subsidiary of the Syngenta Seed Company to sell 160 acres of farmland within 2 years. The reason being that the owner of the company is a Chinese state-owned firm, and this action actually marks the first case of law enforcement by the United States government against a Chinese-backed company owning American farmland. This decision stems from Arkansas legislation, Senate Bill 636, passed on April 17, 2023. And what does it do? It prohibits certain foreign party-controlled entities from owning agricultural land in the state of Arkansas. Arkansas Attorney General Tim Griffin stated that China is one of the countries that shouldn't be allowed to purchase land due to Beijing being subject to the United States International Traffic in Arms Regulations, ITAR. The background of Syngenta's company is quite intricate. It initially acquired a Swiss agricultural supplies and seeds company, previously competitor of United States companies Corteva, BASF, and Bayer. The Swiss company was bought by China's National Chemical Corporation, ChemChina, for $43 billion in 2017 and later merged with China Chemical Corporation in 2021 to form Sinochem Holding. Former White House press secretary during the Trump administration, Sarah Huckabee Sanders, emphasized that seeds are technology and pointed out now that China's state-owned corporations filter that technology back to their homeland, stealing American research and telling our enemies how to target American farms. That is a clear threat to our national security and to our great farmers. All the cases I've mentioned today are just the tip of an iceberg of China's expansion worldwide. For example, the exploitation of minerals and natural resources by China in Africa is another aspect that holds many untold stories. Essentially, in today's world, at least among democratic countries, countering the deliberate infiltration by enterprises controlled by the Chinese Communist Party within their territories cannot simply rely on legal norms and restrictions regarding land use. Because China tends to employ large-scale tactics, as mentioned in the American Farm Bureau Federation's latest report on November 2nd, even though the percentage of land held by the Chinese in the United States is not high, due to limited government manpower and regulatory insufficiencies, the oversight of the substantial annual land transactions faces practical limitations. Almost half of all the transactions have undisclosed prices. Additionally, over 3.2 million acres, equivalent to 8% of agricultural land held by foreign investors, remained unclassified. Possibly because submitted documents do not identify foreign investors or do not list major country region codes. Transparency of ownership faces various constraints because the United States Department of Agriculture lacks the authority to demand buyers disclose information beyond third-party ownership. This basically means that they cannot find out the identity of the ultimate beneficiary. In other words, it is uncertain whether buyers are proxies for China or other hostile countries like Russia. Why could the Soviet Union extend its dirty hands everywhere like the CCP does today? The primary reason is that the world still hesitates on whether to pursue a route of isolating and sanctioning the CCP. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union couldn't expand globally as swiftly because they lacked sufficient funds to conduct soft infiltration. However, until now, the entire world, including the United States, is still hesitant to fully sanction the CCP. They consider it a party that can still be engaged with. This has led to the CCP's attitude continuously becoming more aggressive, because trade continues. This allows them to continually inject new funds and foreign currencies, fueling their expansion ambitions. At this point, I must again advise the businesses, whether Taiwanese or foreign, that you must quickly disengage from dealings with the CCP. Regardless of the benefits and advantages you might have gained in the past, your luck might run out, making you basically tying your own noose. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, please press like, subscribe and share. This is Stan. I see you in the next one. Bye bye.